inspiring. I would now like to invite summa cum laude graduate Hanamato to introduce our guest speaker.
Pete Smith currently serves as the Military and Veterans Liaison for Anne Arundel County. He previously served as County Councilman 1st District from 2012 to 2018 and was the Vice Chairman in 2015. Pete serves as a Comptroller for the Department of Defense. He has served in the United States Marine Corps for 21 years with 13 years of active duty and is an intelligence officer in the Marine Corps Reserves. He has traveled to many countries in support of national requirements, including overseas deployments and duty stations to Iraq, Afghanistan, Korea, Japan, and Cuba. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in Information Technology and an Associates of Art degree in General Studies. He is also a Certified Defense Financial Manager, Contracting Officer Representative, and has attended the National Cryptologic School for Satellite and Network Fundamentals. Pete is a member of the Military Order of World Wars, the American Society of Military Comptrollers, Toastmasters International, and the Marine Corps Association. He also serves as the Toys for Tots Anne Arundel County Coordinator. Pete has 2 children, Isabella and Tristan. Please welcome Major Pete Smith.
It's amazing when folks introduce you because you always sound so much special when someone's reading your bio versus, for me, I'm just like, hey, I'm just Pete. I do want to take a little time to thank the opportunity to be here today. I remember graduating from high school 21 years ago today, and so it's amazing how fast time flies by. And so I want to leave you with some stuff about my life that I think is pertinent to today, but I also want you to take away from this and apply it in the real world. Now I want you to thank your parents, because the reality is those who, I know someone mentioned earlier, the board member said that you guys are responsible for your success here. Boy, did you have a support system that ensured you were able to make that happen. So if you can give your parents and your support system a round of applause, graduates. Now I made a big flaw. I left my cell phone over there by accident. And I was going to do that because we are millennials. At least I think I'm on the cusp of still being a millennial. I'm 39, so I'm like right there on the edge of it, I think. So I still feel that way. And what I do know is there's an expectation for millennials. If it didn't happen on IG, it didn't happen at all. And so, I was going to take a selfie with my phone, but I think I just screwed that one up. And so just know I was going to take a selfie with that cell phone so that I had proof of being here today. But I want to talk about my life. Oh! So this is our Instagram and our Facebook post. So for the older generation, this is the new thing. You got to get your selfie game up if you're going to be successful in this world. So we're going to take this selfie. So for those that don't know, my mom was 19 years old. And she had 5 kids. 19, no twins. We were all born back to back to back, 5 years in a row. 19 years old with with no kids. So before she turned 20, she had 5 kids. So we had a very, very rough life. I went to 7 different schools, from 1st grade to 8th grade. So I admire the previous speaker when she spoke about being at the same school for the last 7 years, because in that same time span, I went to 7 different elementary schools, from 1st grade to 8th grade. And when I got in my freshman year in high school, I stayed at the same school, so that I'm grateful for that. But 7 years. But life teaches you a lot over those 7 years. And before I move on, I want to leave you with 3 points that I hope you take away from this graduation. The first thing I want you to think about is savor the syrup sandwich. Savor the syrup sandwich. And that's S-Y-R-U-P. You see, when I was young, when my mom had those 5 kids, she struggled a lot, so we didn't have a lot. And we lived at this apartment place on 93rd and Woodline. I'll never forget it. I was about 7 or 8 years old, and me and my brother, we shared the same bedroom, if not the same couch. And in this instance, we actually lived on the let-out couch because it was 2 bedrooms, my mom and then the 5 kids. And so the girls all stayed in the other bedroom, and my mother stayed in the one room, and then me and my brother slept on the couch. It was a let-out couch, so we would fold it out, and unfortunately, the legs on the let-out couch were broken. So the couch actually rested on the floor. Each night, we would lay on that couch, and when the lights would go out, I would watch mice run across the kitchen floor because it was an infestation of mice in the place. I'm not saying this to be sad. I just want to sort of give you why I tell you to savor that syrup sandwich. And so every night, my life, like clockwork, we would turn off the lights, and in about an hour when everyone's asleep, I'd open my eyes and across the floor, because the way the couch was set up, you could look into the kitchen, there would be mice running across the floor. They were looking for food as well. She was on food stamps, and so every first week of every month, we always had a lot of the good food in the refrigerator, good cereal. But after that, the final 3 weeks of that month, it wasn't as nice. But we always had bread, and we always had syrup for some reason. So during the last 3 months of the 3 weeks of the month, if I was hungry, I would always find myself in the kitchen making a syrup sandwich. I tell you that because when you're hungry, everything tastes good. That syrup sandwich serves as fuel for me. It reminds me of where I came from and where I'll never go back to. The moral of the story is, find your syrup sandwich. Find your fuel that motivates you to keep growing and succeeding. Because sometimes that's what it takes for you to dig deep, look back into your past, find something that you're passionate about that motivates you to propel you forward. And for me, it is that syrup sandwich. I have syrup and bread in my house today, but I can assure you, my 2 children, that is not the only meal they have access to, and I'm grateful for that. But every now and then, I look at that syrup as I open a cabinet, and it just reminds me how blessed I am to be in a world today and the opportunities I've had so that my kids and my kids' kids will never have to eat another syrup sandwich. Second, only you can stop you. Only you can stop you. You know, I don't listen to a lot of rap. I kind of do a lot of things, but I guess in the famous words of Cardi B, you knock me down 9 times, I get up 10, right? So one time in high school, my freshman year, and I told you we moved around a lot. And so if you're new in the community, it's always hard because you don't have any infrastructure, friends. And so this one time, about a month after I started at my high school, I got on the bus in the middle of the aisle, because we took buses to the school, just like you all do today. And I'll never forget this. I got on that bus that day. For some reason, it was like any other day when I got up that morning. But this day turned out to be a little different. As I got on the bus, I sat in the aisle seat of the row that I sat down in. And at the next stop, another group of people got on the bus, and they decided to come towards the middle of the bus. And one of the individuals had told me and looked at me and told me to move over and get to the window seat. Now, for y'all that have never been or understand high school politics, it's almost like prison politics, where you have to sort of stand your ground, if you will, and make yourself known and sort of like, no, I'm going to make my stand here today. If you want to sit in the aisle seat, you move over. I'm not moving over. I think I would have moved over if it was more graceful and nice and polite, but the way they said it made it seem like it was a command, like you're going to move over. So I looked, and it's sturdy straight ahead of me. I didn't move at all. And out of nowhere, this person muffed me. You ain't been in high school in the last 20 years, let me tell you. If somebody muffs you on a bus, It's like the worst thing that could happen to you. For me, who had no friends in a community that I had just moved into, this person literally stood next to me and mugged me. And then all the kids turned around and looked. And so I took, with all of my might, I turned around and I looked at her. And I said, nope, I'm not moving. So she started, I feel embarrassed that this is now on the record, but she was tough. She was a tough cookie. But I also knew she had like 4 or 5 friends that were with her. And so, I wasn't a genius, but I knew 1 is less than 5. And that's all the math I needed to know at that time. So I didn't do anything, but when we got off the bus, she continued to harass me and sort of antagonize me. And so now you got this crowd of students who are now sort of creating this circle around us, and I'm just like so embarrassed. Not only that she's punking me in front of this new school, but I can't even defend myself, because if I did, I know these other individuals are going to sort of join in this race, if you will. But I'll never forget, only you can stop you. But when we got outside and as she was sort of continuing to agonize me, just because I could doesn't mean I should. Could I have defeated her? Maybe. But just because I could doesn't mean I should. Part of me wanted to say, catch me outside, how about that? But I didn't. I simply walked away. No matter the situation, be the bigger person. Because the only person that can stop you is you. And finally, we are the history our future speaks of. We are the history our future speaks of. When I was my junior year in high school, academically, I struggled. One, because my personal life was in such turmoil because we always moved, and my mother struggled financially to provide for us. And so academically, I just didn't care. In our world, it was always about, when you get to high school, that's it. There was no expectation that we would go beyond it. There was no sort of push from our folks that were around us to propel us past just 12th grade. For us, that was the end of the road. And it's weird because today, I make sure every single day when I talk to my kids that they know that the end of the road it's like grad school. I'm like, yeah, when you graduate grad school, you get out of the house. Because I want them to have it ingrained in them that our bar and our standard is higher. Because the bar was not raised for me. The expectation was not there for me. I actually had a 1.8 GPA that semester, my junior year. 1.8. I literally could not get into CSP with that GPA, even if I tried. I don't care how lucky I was with the lottery. They just saw that and dismissed me right away. But there were 2 individuals that motivated me. Mr. Armistead, who was my chess coach. I know, I was a closet nerd. I played chess. I was on a chess team, believe it or not. So there's some chess teams in this crowd right here. Hey, we here. I'm a nerd with you. It's okay to be one. And Mr. Sanders, who was my speech coach. I didn't know my father. Literally, the first time I met him, I was 20 years old. He gave me the wrong address. I swear to God, I can't make this up. But these 2 men, these 2 teachers, were my fathers. They were the individuals that motivated me to climb any mountain that I thought was impossible. And it's so weird because with my mother, I could have done the worst things and she could have been mad at me. And it's not that I didn't love her, but it wouldn't have phased me if she had said, I'm disappointed in you. But if Mr. Armistead or Mr. Sanders came in and said, Pete, I'm disappointed in you, I think I would have broke down crying, because in their eyes, their opinion mattered to me. I love my mother, but we just had a weird upbringing. And it's weird because a week ago today, my mother actually walked across streets from University of Baltimore. She graduated, returned her a bachelor's. So 39 years ago, plus and minus, she gave up her college and high school graduation life to take care of us. And so over the last 3 years, she got her GED. 2 years ago, got her associates, and now she just graduated with her bachelor's. And so I was like, Mom, okay, now get a job because I'm tired of paying the bills. I felt like I was the parent in their relationship. But I'm grateful that she didn't give up, and she didn't quit, and she kept going. But Mr. Sanders and Mr. Armistead, to this day, if I ever win the lottery, I will literally go back to them and give them $1 million to pay out every single bill that they had. Because in my life, they were my world. They were everything to me, and their opinion mattered to me. Because they gave me someone to be. They gave me someone to be. So graduates, if you have a Mr. Sanders or Mr. Armistead sitting in that room over there, I want you to give them a loud yell and clap your hands and thank them for the inspiration that they have given you to get you where you are today. Please. But each of you have a purpose, a design in which you were sent here to complete. Like my cell phone, it has a purpose. Whether it's to make a phone call or swipe left on that girl that muffed me 20 years ago. I'm just here to tell you that your life has meaning. It isn't just to graduate and go to college and make a few bucks. It's not what it is. Your life has a purpose. And I hope you realize that over the next couple of months, couple of years, as you progress and you figure out what that is. Because when you do, that's when you'll realize the gift that you have. Because it isn't yours. Your life is not yours. Your life is our community's. You're here to make this world better. Not just buy a few CDs or a few MP3s. It's to make all of us better. So I want you to have fun over the next few years. Believe your legacy to change the world for the better. Because you are the history our future speaks of. Now recently, I've been sort of this poetic justice type individual. And I started making rhymes. I actually had the opportunity to speak at the police academy graduation a couple weeks ago. And this is something I think I just picked up on because you may not remember anything I said tonight. I want you to remember that syrup sandwich. It was good, I'm telling you. If you're hungry, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, get you that syrup sandwich. It'll make your day. But I wrote a poem just for you for this graduation, for this class, just for you. And it goes like this. Your time, your success, but your fight is not over. When you get to college, have fun, but always stay sober. Your parents and loved ones have shown you the way, but your gift and might will build a future someday. Whether it's the fence or the new gymnasium or classrooms to be, you've built a foundation inside of these walls being a part of CSP. Some of you will be doctors, lawyers, politicians, and yes, even a Marine. But for now, let's celebrate your success, Class 2019. Congratulations.